A.J. Cronin was a Scottish physician and novelist. After his first novel became a huge success, Cronin gave up medicine and took to writing as a career. The title of the story, Two Gentlemen of Verona, is the same as that of one of Shakespeare's plays. Like Shakespeare's play, this story is set in Verona, a city in Italy. Verona boasts of many historical sites. A popular attraction is a house that is supposed to be Juliet's house in Shakespeare's play Romeo and Juliet. Another tourist attraction is the tomb of Juliet, which is referred to in the story. This story was written after World War II. Verona was heavily bombed during the war. After the war, the people of Verona had to face a lot of hardships. There were few jobs and necessities were expensive. In such difficult circumstances, the two boys in the story had to work very hard to pay for their sister's treatment. Though they were young, they shouldered their responsibilities with dignity. They never once complained. The author is impressed by the behavior and actions of the two boys and calls them the two gentlemen of Verona. Here's a brief summary of the story, Two Gentlemen of Verona by A.J. Cronin. The narrator and his companion are driving through the outskirts of Verona, a city in Italy. They meet two young boys selling strawberries. The older boy, Nicola, is 13 years old. His younger brother, Jacopo, is 12 years old. The next morning, the narrator sees the two boys polishing shoes. The boys tell him that they do many things for a living and even give a tour of the town. The narrator asks the boys to take him around. While the narrator finds the boys innocent, he perceives a seriousness and maturity in them as well. In the following week, the boys run many errands for the narrator. He is struck by their willingness to work. He even sees them on a pavement at midnight, waiting to sell newspapers. He asks Nicola if they are saving money to emigrate to America. Nicola replies that they have other plans. One day, the narrator informs the boys that he is leaving Verona soon and asks if there is anything he can do for them. Jacopo requests to be driven to Poletta. The narrator drives the boys to their destination, which is a large red-roofed villa in Poletta. The narrator follows the boys discreetly and discovers that the villa is a hospital. The boys had come there to visit their sick elder sister, Lucia. A nurse informs the narrator that the children's father had been killed in the war and that their home had been destroyed by a bomb. The children had built a shelter where they had lived on their own. The boys had joined the resistance movement against the Germans. After the war, they had come back to their sister only to find her suffering from tuberculosis of the spine. The brothers had persuaded the hospital to admit their sister. They visit her regularly and pay the hospital expenses every week without fail. The narrator is touched by their devotion. In their selfless actions, he sees a greater hope for humanity. Nicola and Jacopo are the main characters in the story. We see their story unfolding from the eyes of the narrator. Click each label to learn more about the characters. Nicola and Jacopo are brothers. Nicola is 13 years old and Jacopo is 12 years old. Nicola is self-reliant. He does not like to ask for favors. Jacopo is lively and naive and suggests that the author send them by car to Poletta. Nicola and Jacopo do not wallow in self-pity, but work to improve the situation. The brothers were used to a comfortable life. When they lose their father and home in the war, they work hard to meet their needs. They are devoted to their sister Lucia, who suffers from spinal tuberculosis. They work day and night to pay for her treatment and travel 30 kilometers to visit her at the hospital every week. They are self-sacrificing. They do not spend money on clothes, food, or shelter, but they selflessly give all the money they earn for their sister Lucia's treatment. The boys display the qualities of true gentlemen. So, the author rightly calls them the two gentlemen of Verona. The narrator is a kind and generous man. He buys the biggest fruit basket from Nicola and Jacopo. He also drives them himself all the way to Poletta. The narrator is impressed with the two young boys and their willingness to work. Throughout his stay, the children do several odd jobs for him. He finds them helpful and is also concerned that they work too hard. He respects the boys and does not intrude into their personal lives. When he learns about their ailing sister and their efforts to treat her, he does not broach the subject with them. He keeps their secret. The story is about two brothers, Nicola and Jacopo. Their lives are an example of sheer grit and selflessness. Their example provides a ray of hope for humanity. Nicola and Jacopo have overcome the difficult circumstances brought about by the war. They lose their father and all their possessions, yet they survive by building a shelter amidst the rubble. When they realize that Lucia suffers from tuberculosis, they don't give up on her. Instead, they give her the best medical treatment available and take up all sorts of odd jobs to pay for her treatment. Rather than quit, they face their challenges spiritedly. Nicola and Jacopo give everything they earn for the treatment of their sister Lucia. They wear shabby clothes, eat black bread and figs, and sleep on the pavement so that they can save to meet the hospital expenses. Though they have to work hard, often late into the night, they do not complain. Nicola and Jacopo appear shabby and unkempt. Even the narrator's driver, Luigi, disapproves of their outward appearance. But once the narrator gets to know and observe the brothers, he realizes that they have noble qualities of self-sacrifice, honesty, and resilience. Though outwardly they do not look like gentlemen, their honorable nature and hearts of gold make them true gentlemen.